Have you maybe been over squeezing the lemons in your life? Well, this second full moon in Capricorn happening on July 21st may be the perfect energy for you to stop, pause, and enjoy the lemonade of your efforts. Let's break it down today as we navigate the energy of the cosmos from the lens and the perspective of helping you have better relationships. Let's get into it. Welcome back, my Astro family, to the second full moon in Capricorn video. As we're going to navigate this energy at this time, we have to definitely look at what began a month ago. What decisions did you make? What energy and effort did you start putting into some long term goal or dream or vision that you've had for a while? How far have you come? And where can you now stop, relax, rest, and appreciate the hard work you've put into it to reap the rewards of all that you've given? And maybe to celebrate a little bit of your success. So we'll break that all down today. If you're new to me and new to my channel, hi, I'm Mandy Rose. I'm a relational astrologer, which essentially means that when I look at the current cosmic weather, I'm doing it through a lens of ultimately helping you have better relationships. We're going to break down the full moon today. I'm also going to be giving you some rituals and activities that you can do around the time of this lunation to work with and maximize this energy. In my new and full moon videos, I do my favorite top 5 fun facts of the things that make this specific new moon unique to 2024. And of course, we will get into the rising sign breakdown, helping you understand what this full moon, this blue moon, may be calling you to release, surrender, and let go at this time. As we dive in, I'm going to tell you first what you need to know. This full moon is happening on July 21st. At 29 degrees of Capricorn. So remember, our last full moon was at 1 degrees. This one is at 29 degrees. So you want to go ahead and pull out your birth chart. You want to look to see if you have any planets first where the sun is located at 29 degrees of Cancer. So do you have any planets maybe 27, 28, 29 degrees of Cancer? And then, of course, in the zodiac energy of Capricorn, same thing around 27, 28, 29 degrees of Capricorn. If you do, this full moon will heavily impact you. Now, also, this full moon will be exact at 6:17 a.m. Very different energy because our last full moon in Capricorn went exact at 9:18 p.m. And these are in Eastern Standard Time zone, so make sure you adjust for your own time zone. But this one is now going exact early in the morning. And when we're talking about 29 degrees, we're talking about the final degree. It's at the anaretic degree point, the final hoorah moment of that planet. So it is the final day of Cancer sun season. The last full moon was on the first day of Cancer sun season. So we have gone through an entire journey of the sun in its solar month of Cancer, focusing and highlighting and shining a spotlight on the Cancer energy in our life, our home, our family, our past, our traditions, our emotional health, our emotional needs, our intuitive needs, our feminine energy, our mothering, nurturing instinct, nourishment, and filling our cup up, and self-care, and protecting ourselves, and building sanctuaries in our life, and finding safety and security within places, spaces, and people. We've been through a journey since that last full moon in Capricorn. So let's get into the overview. What is the energy we're feeling as we're moving into this full moon in Capricorn? Now, let's kind of dive into the overview. Let's get right into it. We are circling back to the last full moon in Capricorn that happened on June 21st. On the summer solstice. I highly recommend you go back, look at your journal prompts, go look in your camera roll, like what was going on for you a month ago, 29 solar days ago. If you have your 2024 Astrology Alchemy journal, you want to go ahead and open it up first to page 43, which was the last full moon in Capricorn. Reflect on your answers to those journal prompts, and then go ahead and open up to page 51, which is the second full moon in Capricorn page. Now, at this time, we are looking back at what effort did we start? Remember in that last video, we were talking and discussing about our emotional intelligence, being able to determine what things needed our attention, where we needed to get back on track, where we maybe needed to have some discipline or commitment, maybe where we needed to have some tough conversations and be very mature. And this was a reflection of some of the intentions that we set way back at the beginning of 2024 when we were in Capricorn sun season, when we had the new moon in Capricorn on January 11th. And we've been working on some of those goals, right? We've been doing what we need to do. But that last full moon was kind of highlighting where have you fallen off track. So maybe you've still been committed to your fitness, but you aren't going to the gym 5 days a week like you said. Maybe you were committed onto building a business, but you haven't gotten your website quite done yet, right? Like what were those things last month that you recognize you needed to put a little bit more effort in to get the A? Now, our ruling planet of this lunation, Saturn, is retrograde. This is a big shift of energy from our last full moon in Capricorn, where we were feeling the pressure to be responsible, to be mature, to do the hard thing, to make the emotional decision. And now Saturn is retrograde at this time, saying, you know what? I'm not going to make it hard on you. Let's take a step back. Let's reflect. Let's review. Let's go back over what is sabotaging us, why we can't get back on track. So, this is really the energy right now for us to stop and take a pause. And this is really now where we have to take that pause. We have to stop for a moment. We're at 29 degrees. We're at the final moments of Cancer sun season, and we got to take a rest. We got to reflect. We got to look back at all the things we've done. I really feel that this full moon is a moment of Capricorn, which is all about success and achievement, determination, climbing the top of the mountain and working so hard for so long to get the things that you want, persevering, being rigid about it, following the rules, doing the right thing, learning the lesson, overcoming the obstacles. But there has to be a moment after you've been squeezing and squeezing and squeezing the lemons to say, you know what, that's enough lemons. Let me stop and pause and enjoy the lemonade in my life. Let me celebrate how far I've come. Have I necessarily made it to the top of the tallest mountain? Have I made it all the way to the top of this mountain? Am I done on the journey? No, right? We're not there necessarily yet. But there's always more to climb. There's always a higher mountain. There's always another goal. There's always another vision. That doesn't mean you can't stop and pause and celebrate now. This is a beautiful energy for that reflection. So, whether you just look back to a month ago and the energy you started and the energy you decided to recommit to in your life just 30 days ago and celebrate that little win, or you look back to the new moon in Capricorn we had on January 11th and say, look how far I've come in 2024. Look how many decisions I've made. Look at how many obstacles I've overcome. Look how many little baby steps I took. Even though I climbed up the mountain and there was a huge rock in the way and I had to come down a little and find another path, I've still made it further than I expected. Or maybe you zoom out even more than that and you look back over the last 5 years of your life and look at how far you've come since 2020, when Saturn, our ruling planet of this full moon, was heavily involved in a triple conjunction, a holy kaboom in March of 2020. And we've come so far since then. And this is such a beautiful energy when it's at 29 degrees of a full moon, highlighting and illuminating the success and achievement and status that we've acquired thus far in our life. And with this being a blue moon energy, in spirituality, blue moons with this heightened energy of the moon representing our intuition and the spiritual realms and our ability to sense and feel things. This is a time for us where we might be feeling the feels. The sun is at the anaretic degree of Cancer, like the most feels of the feels, right? We know that Cancers can be very sensitive little crabs, and we're all feeling that energy right now. You might be feeling very nostalgic. You might be looking back at the past. This is like, when you built your house and you've lived in it for a while and you've done some renovations and you've done some updating, and you go back and you look at the pictures when you first moved in or when you first built your house, and then you celebrate, right? The full moon in Capricorn, 29 degrees, we celebrate that win. We celebrate how far we've come. We celebrate what it took to even suggest moving into that house or building that house. There was long before the house was ever a consideration. You were putting in work. You were saving your money. You were making tough decisions to, put your money in a savings account instead of spending it on a Friday night with your friends. In relationships, you put a lot of work in to yourself before you even get into the relationship. And then in the relationship, you work on overcoming obstacles and challenges and tough conversations and emotions and different perspectives and opinions. And then you get married and then there's more challenges. But this is the full moon in Capricorn, where maybe you stop and pause and you say, we've been working real hard. We just need to celebrate how far we've come. And this blue moon increases your emotions and your, reflection of the past and all the nostalgia and all the happy memories. Allow yourself to go there. It's beautiful at this time. Now, this full moon is also going to be conjunct Pluto. When you put the moon, our intuition, our heightened sense of emotions, next to Pluto, which is massive transformation, Pluto is retrograde. And he's saying, let's go back to things unfinished. Let's go back and shift the structures and shift the rules and play a different game than we've been playing. This is about to be Pluto's final time in the zodiac energy of Capricorn, and this full moon is preparing us for that final destruction, the final blow, the final breakdown, the final rearranging of the institutions and of the systems that have not worked thus far. So let's pause and celebrate. Let's allow ourselves to relish in the fact that we have made it in the game thus far. Think of like when you play Monopoly or Clue or any game, and you're not the first one to lose, and you keep playing, and you're not the second one out, and you're not the third one out, but you're like in the top 3 contenders. That's still a really big deal. The game's not over yet. You still have a chance to win. You still have so far to go. But like, dang, I wasn't out first, second, third. Here I am. Pluto is coming in to make a different game, to change the rules. This is halfway in the game when all of a sudden someone comes in and is like, all right, all the rules have changed. All the pieces on the board get flipped, right? I don't remember exactly what game it was, but do you remember, was it like Chutes and Ladders? Or there was some game where it's like you get to switch places with someone else in the game. And like, that's this Pluto going back into Capricorn. So you've been playing by the rules and you've been doing all the things, the hard work necessary. You've been mature. But the rules maybe are about to change. So let's celebrate that you've played it and got thus far, and let's anticipate what is next. So big energy here around all of that. Now, when it comes to our relationships and really looking at this energy, remember I mentioned in the last full moon in Capricorn video that when it comes to our relationships, we need emotional intelligence. The moon in Capricorn, and people who have this in their birth chart, are very emotionally intelligent people. When it comes to their emotions, they're more realistic, they're more logical, they're more practical. There's a time and a place and a space to feel your emotions because they got ish to do. They got goals to accomplish. Like, they're on the move, making things happen. Being emotional and this puddle of mess and this anger, being isn't getting them to where they want to go. So this is a highlight and a reflection for all of us to embrace and embody this ability for us to be mature in our emotional health, to be responsible for the way in which we share our emotions or, blurt our emotions out on other people. It's not always right for us to say how we feel all the time. It's also a time and a place and a space to do share our feelings when we need to share them with somebody, right? And the tone and the way in which and the timing of that we express our emotions. So this full moon may be highlighting how far you've come in your emotional health in relationship with people, and where you've learned and grown in your vulnerability and grown and deepened your relationships with another person because you were able to be emotionally mature. And it may highlight the people in your life that have not been able to do this and maybe aren't willing to take that step to become more emotionally mature. And that may then lead to relationships at this time, at the second full moon in Capricorn, letting go, surrendering them, leaving them behind, because Capricorn is in it for the long haul. Capricorn is interested in these relationships that can make it through the storms and is willing to stand the test of time. But that takes two people willing to grow, to climb the mountain together. So I want you to acknowledge relationships in your life that cannot weather the storm, that have outgrown their need in your life. And it's okay to surrender them and let them go, because this full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn, the sun is making a trine to Neptune. The moon is making a sextile to Neptune, supportive energy, supportive aspects, and Neptune is retrograde. So we've taken the rose-colored glasses off. We've taken that person off the pedestal. We see things in a totally different light now, a reality check, if you will. And with that information, we have to move forward. There's no more daydreaming. There's no more living in la la land. This is time for us to celebrate how far we've come and then move beyond that which cannot carry forward with us, that does not support us in the long-term goal and vision as we continue climbing the mountain and moving forward. And relationships are a big part of that. And the thing is, with Pluto conjunct the moon, it's also allowing you to step into your own power. Pluto brings power. Pluto allows you to really fight for things that matter, right? Dig deep and reveal things that are necessary to reveal so that you can be more in alignment. And because it's next to the moon, we may really feel empowered in our decisions, empowered in our feelings, empowered in how far we've come, like feeling that like pride and that sense of like, wow, I've done it. I'm getting teared up because of how far I've come, because of how successful my marriage has become, even though it was really hard and we went to couples therapy. Like, now the emotions are being heightened because you feel empowered by them from Pluto. So yes, this can be challenging, but I want you to celebrate a little bit with this energy. Now, the day after this full moon, we move into Leo sun season. The sun will join Venus and Mercury, which have already been dancing in this fire energy of being bold, of being confident, of being willing to be praised and seen and recognized. And the sun is going to highlight this playful, childlike, confident energy that all of us need to radiate, that all of us have to learn to embody. Each one of us has Leo in our energetic body as we all breathed in the constellation of Leo on the day of our birth. But how familiar are you with this energy? How easy is it to tap into this energy? That is going to happen the day after this full moon as we release, as we surrender, as we let go. But while we also simultaneously celebrate how far we've come. And then we enter into Leo sun season where we get to have some fun and be more childlike and more playful and be confident and start shining like the sun that each one of us is. So super exciting energy around the time of this full moon. Yes, it's going to bring shifts. Yes, it's going to bring changes. All the planets at the time of this full moon have something to say. They're all up to something. We'll dive into that in the specifics in just a moment. But let's first get into my favorite part of my new and full moon videos, which is the fun facts, which breaks down what makes this full moon in Capricorn unique to 2024. And of course, the first one is so obvious. This is a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, we get this energy. Now, there's different types of blue moons. There's astronomical blue moons that follow the Gregorian calendar. Those blue moons are when we have two full moons within the same calendar month. So let's say we have a full moon at the beginning of August on the 2nd, and then we have a full moon on the 31st of August at the end of the month. Two full moons in the month of August, the second one would be called a blue moon. Now, this is what we call a calendric blue moon. Now, we also have a seasonal blue moon when we have 4 full moons within a season: summer, winter, fall, spring. Now, technically, if you're following the seasonal calendar, the full moon in the month of August will be a blue moon. However, we're going by the astrological calendar here on this channel, and so that makes this second full moon in Capricorn a blue moon because it's the second full moon in a solar season. It is the second full moon happening while the sun is in the solar season of Cancer. So once in a blue moon, and these types of blue moons happen once every 2 to 3 years. So the last one we had that was an astrological blue moon was back in August of 2021. So it's been a minute. So this is definitely a unique fun fact for the second full moon in Capricorn in 2024. And that leads us then into our second fun fact, which now we have Saturn, the ruling planet of this lunation, and Neptune, both retrograde. They were not retrograde at the last full moon in Capricorn. And not only that, but both of them are retrograde together in the same exact zodiac sign of Pisces. So there's lots of reviewing and reassessing and reanalyzing and restructuring and going back over things in the Pisces area of your life. Now, this is very unique because Pisces is the energy of surrender, of completion, of endings. It's also the energy of having compassion and empathy for other people, and especially ourselves. It deals with our intuition and our ability to connect and have faith and have trust. And that's a big part of this full moon in Capricorn energy where we are celebrating how far we've come and we trust in ourselves that we're going to keep going. Even if we take a pause and we take a little celebration, we trust we're going to get back on track. And we're also going to have faith that the hard work that we're putting in, even though it hasn't blossomed yet, is going to be worth it. You know, as we move through more seasons and more cosmic weather, we just need to be disciplined and committed enough and mature enough to do the things even if the obstacles come our way. So Saturn and Neptune retrograde is very unique at this time. And the third fun fact about this full moon in Capricorn is that when we get to the new moon in Capricorn in 6 months, it is actually going to be the final lunation of 2024. We are going to have a new moon in Capricorn on December 30th. We are leaving the calendar year of 2024 and entering into 2025 with this new moon in Capricorn energy, which is so beautiful for setting New Year's resolutions, new goals, new ambitions, walking into the new calendar year with this new moon energy, and whatever we have worked on thus far, readjusting, reshifting the goals, reprioritizing what's important in our life, and going after new things and new mountains to climb. So whatever you're working on, whatever you're celebrating right now, it's okay. Keep on going. It's probably going to change by the time we get to 2025. That's okay. A lot is going to change in the cosmos in the second half of 2024. I mean, we got some major transits coming up that is going to rearrange. We have major retrogrades. Pluto's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Jupiter's going to go retrograde. We're going to have two more Mercury retrogrades. We're going to have a Mars retrograde. I mean, this is 7 total retrogrades between now and that new moon in Capricorn in December on the 30th, ending the year. And a lot of things are going to change in our life between now and then. And so we'll reassess and reevaluate and come back to our goals. So like I mentioned earlier, the rules are going to change. So just keep playing the game that you're playing. Be mature, be responsible, one foot in front of the other, and we're going to be just fine. So like I mentioned, all the planets have something to say at this time. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the chart. Let's talk about it. You know, the first thing we do is we find the sun and the moon. The sun, of course, 29 degrees of Cancer, the moon opposite at 29 degrees of Capricorn. We notice right next to the moon is Pluto at 0 degrees and 55 minutes of Aquarius. He is retrograding, and within just a few short weeks, he will be popping back into the zodiac energy of Capricorn for his final stint, his final hurrah, his final destruction and breakdown and revealing of what needs to be exposed. Pluto is all about the underworld, the soil, the root system of something. And right now, he's ready to expose the roots of the Capricorn energy of our conscious collective. And that is the people in power and authorities and systems and institutions and regulations and things that have structure that don't serve the collective, right? And so, like I said, the rules are going to change and the systems and the structures are going to be different. I'll give you an example. Maybe you have a business and you've been working really hard to save your money to invest in home. And it's going to be a property that you use for your business. The rules may change between now and then. And now that might not be possible anymore. And now that money that you've planned to invest in property is not an option. The rules have changed. And now you decide, I'm going to use this money for something else. It wasn't the original goal. It wasn't the original dream. It's not what I've been working hard for, but we're readjusting, right? Saturn retrograde. We are going back to the drawing board and recognizing what actually would matter for us. Where's our intuition guiding us to put more effort and energy into? Where do we need to be mature and responsible? It's going to look different. It's going to look different. This Pluto going back into Capricorn is going to look different. Just wait a little bit longer and we'll get to see the final hurrah of Pluto here. Now, let's look back at Saturn. We see Saturn retrograde, moving backwards in the sky. He's still at 19 degrees. In the last full moon in Capricorn 30 days ago, he was at 19 degrees. He slowed down, parked at 19. Now he's retrograde and gaining steam, gaining momentum, going all the way back to 12 degrees of Pisces. Make sure you check out my Saturn retrograde video where we break that all down and I give you dates and things to expect. And of course, your rising sign forecast for this energy and how to navigate Saturn's lessons. But at this full moon in Capricorn, the second one, where he's still the ruling planet, as he's going retrograde, he's saying, you know what? I'm not going to hassle you anymore. I'm not going to be your tough love dad. I'm not going to ask you if you did your homework. I'm going to take a step back. And I'm going to see how mature you are. I'm going to see if you have faith, if you have trust, if you're willing to be compassionate and empathetic, if you're willing to be of service, if you're willing to tap into your spiritual practices, your emotional health, your mental health. These are all things that Pisces rules. And most importantly, Pisces is the energy of escapism, self-sabotage, drugs, addictions, ways in which we don't want to face our reality. Saturn's saying no more of that. No more. It's not going to happen anymore. So just be cautious and careful that you don't overdo things during this season until Saturn comes out of retrograde. But just, it's okay at the time of this full moon. Take a little break, enjoy your lemonade, and then get back on track. Now we also see that Neptune in Pisces is retrograde, 29 degrees. He has been at 29 degrees since May, June, now most of July. So this is Neptune at his most powerful placement in the sky, right? He's at home in Pisces and he's at 29 degrees, the energetic degree, and he's going back and he will come back to 29 degrees again. And so this is an energy of Neptune saying, let's rip the rose-colored glasses off. Let's face reality. Let's look at the truth. Let's bust it all up and discover what we really want to dream. What is really the dream that we want? Is the dream something that's been fed to us by magazines and advertisement and the conscious collective and what people in power say, oh, you should have a house and kids and a car and all this expensive stuff that you should spend your money on. Maybe that's not the dream anymore. Maybe Neptune is like, we need a new dream. We need a new vision because we kind of see life differently through different colored glasses. It's not this foggy, hazy one that gave me a tint to what reality is. And so this, again, you're going to revisit your goals. You're going to revisit the rules. Like things are going to look different for you. So don't harp on what you have not yet accomplished. All in due timing, my Astro fam. And because, of course, Neptune is at 29 degrees, he is trine the sun, which is a supportive aspect, right? The sun is going to highlight what we need to see clearly and taking the rose-colored glasses off. And it's in a sextile to the moon. So our intuition is very heightened right now. We have this ability to kind of just feel what's right, feel what's wrong, feel what's working, feeling instead of what everyone else is telling us to do and think and act, and how we should play by the rules, and how we should run our relationships, and how we should run our businesses, and how we should treat our friends, and how we should spend our money. We're kind of reevaluating that based on how we feel at this time. And what else is different since the last full moon in Capricorn is now we've got Mars in Gemini. What a different energy, right? Mars is our masculine. It's our chi. It's what we want to fight for. It's how we make decisions. It's like how we're driving in the left lane. And as Mars was in the energy of Taurus during the last full moon, we were moving towards things that we value, that we prioritize. What's worth fighting for is the things that make our life more beautiful and pleasurable. I mean, we just went through the last 6 weeks of our masculine energy and making decisions and making our life feel more peaceful, more harmonious, like just more luxurious. And that's what we've been working towards. Now Mars is in Gemini. So for the next 6 weeks, we are really going to start moving towards connection, community, learning, sharing, expressing, teaching. We're going to take action on writing that project, writing that book, telling people, getting on social media, starting a podcast, reaching out to people, asking questions. Our energy is going to go towards building connections, building community. It's also going to be our chi, our stamina is going to be prominent towards looking at traveling and transportation and going to visit people. So we're going to celebrate, and then we're going to get right back on it by connecting with others. Such a social season for this Gemini Mars energy. And then in the background, we got Mercury square Uranus. So we know that Mercury is messages, communication. Uranus is sudden, unexpected, left field, don't know what happened. And so we could, at this time of the full moon, get some unexpected information. We could get good news. We could get the answer to the email that we've been waiting. And that is something we're celebrating. Maybe it's something that's like, oh my gosh, this illuminated and highlighted this opportunity, and someone just gifted that to me. Or maybe someone threw this at me out of left field, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm letting this go. I'm surrendering. I'm giving it up. I'm closing this chapter because of what this person said. It was like the final straw. So either this Mercury square Uranus could give us some sort of news or information that helps us release and let go once and for all towards the thing that we want to go towards, or it gives us an epiphany or information or download or insight that helps us celebrate how far we've come and helps bring clarity to the next steps we need to move forward in the rest of 2024. And then Venus sextile Jupiter just reminds us that everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right, because if there are benefic planets having sex, and Venus is about what we love and what we find pleasurable, and Jupiter is about expansion and growth and blessing and prosperity. And so really at this time, the benefit is when we surrender, when we let go, when we're willing to celebrate our success, stop and pause and sip the lemonade, make a new plan, accept that the world might change and the rules might change, willing to take the rose-colored glasses off and see our truth, see our reality, recommit to certain things, move forward step by step, everything's going to be all right. And I just love that final message from our benefic planets. So lots of beautiful energy around this time as we move through the month of July. We are going to be entering Leo sun season on the next day. So this is really exciting energy. The sun will join Venus and Mercury, who have been in the zodiac energy of Leo. Mercury is going to retrograde back into Leo, and later this year, we're going to have a Mars retrograde in Leo as well. So check your birth chart. What does Leo rule for you? The sun is going to heat up and highlight and help you shine a spotlight on this area of your life after this full moon, and we're going to have some course correction, some reviewing, some time to analyze and assess and restructure and reformulate a new game plan in this area of your life as we go through the rest of 2024. So if you are personally curious what the rest of 2024 has in store for you, I've been doing mid-year astro forecast check-ins, kind of looking at my clients' charts and helping them navigate the upcoming retrograde energies, the upcoming cosmic weather, the transits, and helping them prepare for 2025 and the shifts that are to come with the new eclipses. I mean, there's a lot going on. This full moon in Capricorn is a mid-year review. You know, we're already in July. What else do you want to accomplish this year? And what big things are you looking on the horizons to in the next upcoming year? So we can dive into that in a one-on-one session. But for now, let's get into the activities and rituals you can do around the time of this lunation to work with and maximize this energy. The first thing I would do is reflect and review back to my vision board. Now, if you haven't done a vision board, I would do one at this time. Maybe you've only done a vision board for your life personally, but have you ever done a vision board for your relationships? Me and my partner did a vision board when we first started dating. It was back during quarantine, and it was such a fun activity where we talked about things we wanted to do together and things we wanted to accomplish together in our relationships. It was so much fun, and I definitely suggest that at this time. Maybe you make a vision board for your business. You make a vision board that's specifically, you know, books you want to read or around your health. Like, this is a great time to just assess your current vision board, maybe do a micro niche down version of your vision board, or go ask your significant other to do a vision board with you and make a night of it. It's so much fun. The second activity I would do around this full moon in Capricorn, because the sun is at the most powerful degree of Cancer, is have your family over, have a family game night, get together with your family, do a family Zoom call if you guys live all around the country or the world. Just connect with your family. It's a beautiful energy as people are kind of nostalgia and start a new tradition of, you know, calling each other once a month. Like, just a beautiful time to nourish your family relationships, connect with your family in some big way, and celebrate each other. Celebrate the connection that you have. And family could be friends. It's whomever you consider your personal family during Cancer sun season. And the third and final activity I want you to do, no matter what, around this full moon in Capricorn, 3 days before up to 3 days after, is sip your lemonade. Sip your lemonade, how far you've come, and it may not be as far as you wish you were. But I want you to just relish in the moment. Celebrate yourself, whether that's throwing yourself a little party, going out and buying something really special for you, meeting up with friends, like whatever this celebration looks like for you. Make it instinctual, make it something that is meaningful, make it something that really helps you reflect in your growth in some way. So definitely embrace and embody that energy. So with all that, thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of my Astro family. If you're new here, subscribe, hang out with us as we go through the current cosmic weather. I'm also launching a relational astrology podcast where we will dive in more specifically to relationships in your life, understanding them and navigating them better through understanding your birth chart and cosmic energies. So I'm really looking forward to launching that. So I hope you really like that podcast. If you listen to it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what other topics you want me to cover when it comes to relationships and astrology. And I'm going to send you guys so much love and light at this full moon in Capricorn. And let me know in the comments below what you're celebrating. So with that, let's get into the rising sign breakdown, helping you understand what you need to celebrate in your life based on your rising sign. Aries Risings, this is your second full moon in your 10th house of career. Hopefully you've come very far since the last full moon in Capricorn. You've recommitted to this area. You've recognized where you've gotten off track. You've made different decisions. You had hard conversations. You worked on, overcoming an obstacle of some sort, and you've made it really far. And I want you to reflect back. I want you to celebrate the success, the achievement. Maybe you're not as far as you want to be in your career, in your reputation, in your title. Maybe you want a new position. Maybe you want to work in a different industry. But stop, pause, reflect. This is a beautiful energy to sip your lemonade in this area of your life. Celebrate the people in your life. Celebrate the people that have helped you get to where you are in your career, whether it's your clients, it's your coworkers, it's your boss, it's old mentors, it's people in old companies. Take a moment to be grateful for them, celebrate them, connect with them, go back in the past to all the people that have helped you get to where you are, including yourself, and then move forward in this career area of your life between now. Get really committed, get really disciplined, because you are ending 2024 with a new moon, a new beginning on December 30th in your career sector as you move into 2025. What an exciting energy. And remember, your ruling planet Mars right now just moved into the zodiac energy of Gemini. So now your ruling planet is in your third house, helping you move forward, make connections, socialize, learn new things, educate other people. Great time to put energy and effort and attention into writing projects, speaking projects, mentoring other people, letting people know how much you know, telling stories. So just a beautiful new energy for you. So I'm going to send you so much love and light, my Aries risings. Celebrate yourself at this full moon in Capricorn. It's a beautiful season for you. Taurus risings, the second full moon, blue moon in Capricorn, is happening in your ninth house. So hopefully you've come very far since the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, that you've maybe traveled, you've accomplished something on your bucket list, you've hired a mentor, you've gained more wisdom, gained more knowledge. Maybe you started an internship or an apprenticeship, or maybe in your job, you've learned new skills or new ways of doing things. Maybe in your relationships, you've had some tough conversations and you've expanded your mind and you've changed your belief systems and you now see life through a different perspective. This is a great time right now for you, Taurus risings, to celebrate. Celebrate how much you've grown and how much wisdom you've gained from living on Earth School. How many things have you overcome? The countries you've visited, the people you've encountered, how much you've changed in your belief systems and your philosophies in the last 20 years. This is such beautiful energy for you. I want you to celebrate, take a pause, reflect. Venus, your ruling planet, is in the zodiac energy of Leo right now. So we are all about being bold and being brave and allowing ourselves to be seen. I mean, your ruling planet really wants to be recognized and wants to be praised. So celebrate yourself, give yourself that love, recognize how far you've come. And don't be afraid to ask it from other people. Let them know. Tell your story. Share your success and allow others to praise you as well. So it's a beautiful energy for you, my Taurus risings. Go sip that lemonade and tell me in the comments below what you're celebrating at this full moon in Capricorn. Gemini risings, this is your second full moon in Capricorn in your 8th house. The 8th house, of course, is that house of joint assets and resources, other people's money that are tied financially to you, debts, loans, inheritances, wills. We're looking at your sex life, your intimacy, your ability to be vulnerable with other people, your subconscious fears and traumas and things that need to be healed. And so right now, this second full moon, I want you to celebrate how far you've come in these areas of your life. Did you do the hard things since the last full moon in Capricorn where we talked here and I said, hey, maybe it's time to get your wills right. Maybe it's right to do your health insurance or your, death insurance policies. Maybe you had to have a tough conversation with someone financially, like your marriage partner, your business partner. Maybe you had to go to the bank and ask for a loan and do something that was really hard. Maybe you had tough conversations around your sex life and you were vulnerable. Or maybe you went to therapy and worked on some healing or some trauma. Did you do some hard things? If you did, I want you to celebrate. I want you to celebrate because that's not easy. The 8th house is a very challenging place. It's all the things in our life. They're uncomfortable. They're taboo topics. And when we work on these areas of life and we're willing to go into the darkness and we're willing to open up the closets and look at the skeletons in our life and do something with them, we need to also celebrate. So my Gemini risings, please celebrate. Let me know in the comments below what you're celebrating in this area of your life. Did you get an inheritance and you did something really responsible with it? Did you go fill out paperwork for your will? What did you do in this 8th house space? Let me know in the comments below. I'm proud of you, my Gemini risings, and your ruling planet Mercury is in the zodiac energy of Leo. So this is a season right now where you are speaking, you are roaring, you are sharing, you are confident, you are bold. So do that towards yourself. Really important at this time. Cancer risings, this second full moon in Capricorn is happening in your 7th house. So like we mentioned in the last video, this is your relationship full moon of the year. You get 2 of them, highlighting and illuminate the long-term relationships in your life, which ones feel good, which ones you have climbed the mountain with and you have weathered the storms through. So I want you to reflect and I want you to celebrate in your relationships right now, Cancer risings. I want you to go to the people in your life that you have been with in partnership with for a very long time. Now, in a business sense, that could be 2-3 years. In a marriage sense, it could be 20 years. Maybe it's a friend you've had since kindergarten. I want you to go to the longest relationship you've had, and that could be someone in your family, like your siblings, and I want you to celebrate with them. I want you to celebrate all the things that you have been through in the journey of Earth School together. Maybe it's a best friend that you have witnessed get married and get divorced and they had children, or maybe they witnessed you go through seasons of struggle with your career and you've been there for each other. This is worth celebrating at this time. This is such a beautiful energy. You are ruled by the moon. The moon is full and bright in the night sky. You are feeling illuminated. You are feeling sensitive. You are feeling intuitive. You are feeling the Cancer sun season of empathy and compassion and nostalgia and wanting to look back on the past. Go do that in your relationships and celebrate. It probably has not been easy to weather these storms with the people in your life. So be grateful for them and celebrate with them. Let me know in the comments below who you're celebrating and what relationship in your life has been the longest withstanding. And if you want to share any of the storms that you've been through to make this relationship special. All right, my Cancer Rising, sending you so much love and light as you navigate this full moon. I'll catch you in the next video. Leo Risings, this is your second full moon in your 6th house. So we are talking again, just like last month, about your health and wellness, your day-to-day habits, what keeps you vital. We're looking at your work-life balance. How far have you come in this area of your life? I want you to reflect back to January. What intentions did you set around your diet, your nutrition, your fitness plan, your day-to-day, your sleep habits, your work-life balance? Are you taking Fridays off? Are you not working on the weekends? What were some of those commitments? And how have they impacted you? How have being disciplined and responsible when it comes to your health and your day-to-day benefited you? And reflect on that and celebrate that. Maybe you've lost 20 pounds so far this year. Maybe since last month, you've recommitted to a supplement plan and you've done really good with remembering your daily vitamins. Maybe you hired a new trainer. Remember, we mentioned last month that at this time, you may be letting go of people that are harmful for your health or they aren't helping you get to the next level. Maybe you've had a personal trainer and they've helped you lose a bunch of weight, but now you want to do a bodybuilding competition, right? And now you need a new trainer for that. Apply that to whatever scenario in your life, but maybe you need that next level of a mentor to go to the next goal, to climb the next mountain. And at this time, you're going to celebrate and be thankful for the people that have gotten you thus far, especially around your health, your wellness, and your daily habits, your daily life, your career. If you have the same lady you see at the coffee shop every single day, go thank her, go celebrate her. She's helped you get to work on time. She's helped you be caffeinated when you get to work, right? These people in our life that help make our life better on a day-to-day basis. Let's sip the lemonade and appreciate them at this time as we celebrate the full moon in Capricorn. Now, remember, you are ruled by the sun. And as of tomorrow, the sun comes home to your 1st house, shining a spotlight upon you, your identity, your physical appearance, your avatar, the way in which the world sees you. You are going to be magnetic. You are going to be lit up, my Leo risings. This is such a beautiful solar energy for you. So we are focusing on that physical body and we're going to allow ourselves to be seen and praised and recognized. So I love this energy for you, especially right after this full moon. Such a beautiful energy for you. I'm sending you so much love and light, my Leo risings. Let me know in the comments below, who are you celebrating in your life? Who helps make your day-to-day life a little bit better and shine a little bit brighter? I'd love to know. Catch you in the next video. Virgo risings, this is our 2nd full moon in your 5th house, your fun house. Like we mentioned in the last full moon in Capricorn video, what in your life is blocking you from having fun? That was highlighting and illuminated where you need to be more responsible and be more committed to your hobbies, to the things that bring you joy, to your children, to your creative projects. Maybe you need to start dating again. This is the house of romance. Maybe in your romantic relationships, things have gotten stale. Maybe you've been with your husband or wife for a really long time and you need to start dating them again. This is a full moon in Capricorn that I want you to celebrate the success that you've had in this area of your life. So celebrate your children and all the challenges it took to have them and to raise them and to get through life's obstacles with them. Celebrate your children, celebrate yourself, celebrate a creative project that you put out into the world. Maybe you painted this beautiful painting in your house, or maybe you have been working on, an online project, a creative project of sorts. Maybe you heeded my advice at the last full moon in Capricorn video and you started a new hobby, or you got back into dancing or singing or drawing or something you loved to do when you were a child. Celebrate that you were invested and committed and disciplined enough to focus on some fun. This is the perfect full moon for you, my Virgo risings, to have some fun. And I know that's really hard for you because Capricorn is not necessarily the energy of fun. You got Virgo in the 1st house, so you tend to be more serious. You tend to be more earthy and practical, and there's not time to have fun. But now is your cosmic permission to go do something over the energy of this full moon, to just let loose and tap into your inner child. Your ruling planet Mercury as well is in the zodiac energy of Leo. So this is, being grand, being bold, speaking out loud, sharing your truth, not being afraid to be seen. So getting out there, meeting new people, and just shining a little bit brighter And don't forget, your ruling planet's about to go retrograde next month, and we'll talk more about that later, but just a little heads up. So good luck, my Virgo risings. Catch you in the next video. Libra risings, this is the second full moon that is activating your fourth house of Capricorn, home and family, property and real estate. So like we mentioned in the last full moon video, there was some adjustments, some changes, some hard decisions that needed to be made in this area of your life. And now I want you to celebrate the work that you've put in to get to where you are. Is it in building and nourishing your family and providing for your family? Is it in overcoming obstacles with family members where maybe you thought, you know what, I never want to talk to them again, and we worked it out? Or celebrating the fact that you and your family get together every single year for a reunion and you invest the time and you commit to it. This is a great energy to just reap the reward of the effort you've put in to have this family unit. And now that could be friends too. It doesn't have to be birth family. It could be these friends that you've developed these beautiful connections with and they feel like family. We need to celebrate that. That is such an accomplishment at this time. Also looking at your home. Where do you live? The energy you've put into making this sanctuary, this beautiful space for you where you feel safe in your emotions, right? Is it, celebrating that you've invested in your home, that it worked really hard for your home, the reno projects you've done, even like changing a little light bulb, like these seem like little things, but like you're disciplined, you're committed, you're doing hard things, you're being mature, all the things that Saturn requires of you. So celebrate those things. Beautiful energy. Now, for some of you, my Libra risings, you may be closing a deal on your home. You may be selling your home. You might be moving out of your apartments. You might be shifting and changing into a new beginning in your home life at this time. If you are, I want you to be grateful for that opportunity. Such a beautiful energy at this time. Now, remember, you're ruled by Venus, and Venus is in the zodiac energy of Leo right now. So a lot of your energy is going to being bold and being prideful and allowing yourself to be seen and recognized, being very magnetic, dressing very beautifully. So don't forget this energy as your ruling planet is moving through Leo. So allow the changes that must happen at this full moon as you're releasing and letting go in the fourth house and celebrating it along the way. And let me know in the comments below what you're celebrating at this time in the area of home and family, and I'll catch you in the next video. Scorpio risings, I feel you. This is our second full moon in Capricorn in our third house. And so there was something that we had to commit to last month about building connections, meeting with other people, making tough decisions in relationships with our siblings, sharing our story, stepping up, communicating and expressing ourselves, learning new things, or maybe becoming a mentor. And I want you to stop and pause, sip your lemonade of success in this area of your life. Have you learned new communication styles? Have you networked and built new communities with other people? Have you moved into your neighborhood and formulated a good relationship with your neighbors? Have you spent more time talking to your siblings or checking in on them? If not, it's not too late to do any of these things, but I want you to celebrate this area of your life. If there are things you're wanting to yet share, maybe you're wanting to launch a podcast, write a book, you still have time to do that. Those goals are still ahead of you, but still celebrate what you've done up to this point to allow you to be confident, to speak up, to allow you to go out and meet other people and network and connect. Maybe you've traveled somewhere recently and now you get to enjoy that trip that's coming up. Maybe you planned some travel in the last, 4 weeks. And that vacation is on the horizon. Celebrate, allow yourself to just be in this energy of all the hard work that you've put in thus far. Scorpio risings, your ruling planet Mars is now in the zodiac energy of Gemini. And so this is very big for you because now your energy, your focus, what you're driving towards, where you're putting your effort towards is in your 8th house. And so we are now going to focus on building assets, building wealth, sharing resources with people, working on our wills, working on our inheritance, paying our taxes, getting financially responsible, and also maybe improving our intimacy and our sex life a little bit with our masculine energy, our libido, and our stamina in the 8th house. So you're going to need to use your voice. You're going to speak up. You're going to need to ask questions. You're going to need to network. These things are going to be very important, and celebrate your ability to do these things at the time of this full moon. So let me know in the comments below what you're celebrating in your life and maybe a plan that you have for moving forward and what's a big goal and vision that you want to accomplish for the second half of 2024. So good luck, Scorpio risings. Catch you in the next video. Sagittarius risings, this is your second full moon of the year, your money moon in your second house. So remember back at the last video, we discussed how that full moon was going to highlight and illuminate tough decisions you needed to make around your money, around your financial world, looking at your budget, removing things that, you don't want to spend money on anymore, looking at your subscriptions, looking at ways in which you need to change the way in which money is coming in. Do you need to be on salary? Do you need to ask for a set, hourly wage? Do you need to ask for an increase in wage? Like, where are some hard decisions and tough things that you needed to do around your money, around your finances, around your material possessions? I want you to celebrate any of those tough decisions that you've made thus far and how you've moved forward in this area of your life, especially since the beginning of January. Has your money gone up? Have you put more of a priority on your, money and making money? Have you maybe been really good about your budget? Have you been really good about cutting out spending? Maybe you sold some material possessions and made a profit. I want you to just celebrate this area of your life. And you may not have the money you need or the money you want or the money you desire. We're not there yet. We're not at the top of the mountain. But that doesn't mean you can't celebrate what you have and what you've worked hard for thus far. I know there's more to come, but let's just sip the lemonade right now for where we're at. And don't forget my Sagittarius risings. We got Jupiter, your ruling planet, moving through Gemini. He is hauling butt. I mean, he's made it all the way to 12 degrees. He is going to retrograde in the upcoming months, but right now you are expanding and you are growing through connections, resources, socializing, learning new things. So you want that financial abundance with this full moon. You want to go on to the next step and the next level and celebrate more money in your life before we get to the new moon on December 30th. As we leave 2024, you got to go do the Jupiter things. You got to follow your ruling planet. He says, go be Gemini, go be lighthearted, go be social, go connect, go out there in the world and meet new people and ask questions, and financial abundance can come to you, my Sagittarius risings. So sending you so much love and light. Let me know in the comments below what you're celebrating in your financial sector, and let me know what abundance you're going to call in as you move through your ruling planet being in the zodiac energy of Gemini. I'll catch you in the next video. Capricorn risings, this is the second full moon in your first house. This is highlighting and illuminating you, your avatar, your personality, your physical body, the way in which the world sees you. And like I mentioned in the last video, you had to make some decisions around this. Maybe you needed to invest some energy and recommit to your overall health and to your physical body and your appearance. Maybe you cut your hair. Maybe you change your wardrobe. Maybe you got back into a workout routine. Maybe you change your social media platforms to be more presentable. Maybe you just change something on how you want to be seen in the world. And I want you to celebrate. I want you to celebrate how far you've come. I want you to celebrate you. This is your full moon. That's all about you. It is highlighting you. And I want you to just enjoy it. And I want you to celebrate. And I want you to be proud of yourself. Your ruling planet is now retrograde. So you may not feel as structured or as disciplined or as committed. You might not feel as hardworking right now. Maybe you just want to, step back and relax a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. You're typically a Saturn-ruled person. And with Saturn retrograde, it's like, oh, I get a breather. Don't forget the lesson, though. Don't forget the lesson. It's going to be so important for you. Celebrate yourself in this moment. Let me know in the comments below how you want to shout yourself out. Let us shout you out with you, and go show up and shine out in the world as we move into Leo sun season tomorrow. Be bold, be brave, and allow yourself to be magnetic. Sending you so much love and light, Capricorn risings. I'll catch you in the next video. Aquarius risings, this is your second full moon in your 12th house. So we are looking at the highlights and the illumination of the behind the scenes spaces in your life. Is there a project that you've worked on really hard in the last 30 days? Hasn't been launched yet out into the world, but you've been working on it behind the scenes. You're getting ready to finalize it and show it off and show it to the people that want to see it. Or maybe we're looking at your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. Is this something that you've been working really hard on? Like I mentioned and suggested in the last full moon in Capricorn video, that you needed to work on emotional intelligence, work on traumas or things to release, things to let go of, things that are weighing you down, get rid of self-sabotaging behaviors, escapism tendencies, the stories you're telling yourself that don't feel good, working on your energetic body, aligning your chakras. How far have you come in a spiritual practice and spiritual habits that benefit your life? So important for you, Aquarius risings, at this time to celebrate how far you've come. Let us know in the comments below. How much work have you done around your energetic, emotional, and mental body? And maybe there's a project behind the scenes that you want to share with us, and we're going to celebrate it with you. I know how hard it is to work on something behind the scenes, and no one knows, and no one praises you, and you're the only one motivating yourself. And then you finally release it, and everyone's proud and excited, but it's before that, when it's still hidden, that you got to be committed and responsible and disciplined to keep it going until it sees the light of day. And don't forget, one of your ruling planets, Saturn, is retrograde at this time. So life may seem like it's a little easier, but don't forget your lessons that you need to learn during this cycle. Go check out my Saturn retrograde video. We'll break it all down for you. So let us celebrate with you, Aquarius Risings. See you so much love and light. I'll catch you in the next video. Pisces Risings, this is the second full moon happening in your 11th house, the house of friendship and community and tribe. It's also the house of your future, of your wishes, of your dreams. And like we mentioned in the last full moon in Capricorn video, there were some hard decisions to make around your friendship groups, some emotional conversations maybe that need to be had, maybe letting go of some friendships that don't serve anymore, and maybe redeciding on some new dreams, some new goals, some new wishes, how you want to move towards your future in a different way. And now here we are at the second full moon in Capricorn, where it's going to illuminate and highlight some new friends that maybe have come into your life, or maybe you can celebrate a tough conversation you had with a friendship group. Maybe you did some uncomfortable work about going to a new networking event or going to a new social event where you didn't know anybody and you made a really good friend out of it. Celebrating these wins, celebrating the friends that you do have that have made it and weathered through the storm with you, right? Friends you've had for such a long time. And even though you've moved away and even though life has gotten busy, you've always come back together. I want you to celebrate those people. I want you to sip the lemonade of your efforts. It's not easy to stay friends with people for a long time. It's not easy to weather storms with friendships. For many people, they're easy to throw away. So celebrate those people in your life, and also just acknowledge that your future goals and dreams and wishes may change between now and December 30th as we get to the new moon in Capricorn, ending 2024, moving into 2025. And remember, your ruling planet Neptune is now retrograde, so life may not feel as dreamy anymore. You may be getting a lot of reality checks, so lean on Jupiter. Jupiter in Gemini is calling you to be curious, to be social, to connect, to meet new people. That's where you're going to find your blessing and abundance, my Pisces risings. So I send you so much love and light. Let us know in the comments below, what friendship are you celebrating around this full moon so we can celebrate with you. And I'll catch you in the next video.